She was unique and special in every way. She loved life. She loved nature.
Celebrating and mourning a life gone too soon. Friends and family coming together in Folsom tonight for Krista Eberl, shot and killed at an El Dorado pub this week. An entire community still struggling to come to grips with the killing. Days after the man believed to be responsible entered a not guilty plea to all the charges. Nicole Comstock is live in Folsom tonight. Nicole, what was the mood like there?
Well, Tia, the way that Krista Eberl died so suddenly and so violently blindsided her family and her friends. Obviously, they're all devastated. But tonight they are trying to remember the best of times that they had with Krista when she was here and happy.
She was a light to your day whenever you interacted with her. She was just a beam of shining positivity.
Everyone recognized that light in Krista Eberl, the gentle-spirited 31-year-old who moved to El Dorado Hills to live a simple life. She was celebrating her 31st birthday here at 36 Handles Pub, where she was later killed for the keys to her car.
And that's all they did, was walk outside.
Outside the bar, darkness fell on Krista and a friend, the kind of darkness you can't see coming and you can't escape from. 41-year-old Anderson Swift is accused of shooting Krista, stealing the keys to her car, and crashing it in an attempt to flee.
I was kind of in shock, just numb. I mean, it's just so unfathomable.
Tonight, the fatal birthday celebration turned into a celebration of life. Those who loved Krista the most remembered her at Bacchus House in Folsom.
It didn't matter who you were. And she treated people with respect.
Karen Stegner worked alongside Krista at Home Consignment Center selling handmade jewelry. Deborah Phipps, one of Krista's best customers. They're both heartbroken that Krista's life ended so differently from how she lived.
This was something that was so out of the ordinary that it feels as if it's the death of the innocents for El Dorado Hills.
She wanted to start traveling and really exploring, what was out there. Now she'll have to travel just in a different way.
The family's also set up a trust fund in Krista's name. That's through Bank of the West, and they'll also be donating to several charities that Krista held close to her heart.
All right, Nicole, thank you for that report. New at 10 tonight, a city reeling after a violent and deadly weekend in Modesto. 4 separate crimes leave 1 man dead and 5 people injured. The first crime happened right here. Let's show you this map happening right here on Spruce Street. That's where the first incident happened, and that's where 3 people were shot. They all sustained non-life-threatening injuries, and not 24 hours later, officers returned back onto Spruce Street for another crime, this time for reports of a drive-by shooting. Now, police say the victim was sitting in his car when bullets went through his arm and neck. He is expected to survive. Police say they suspect the shootings are related, but a motive and suspect have not been identified at this time. And back here at the map again, early this morning, police say a man was found right here. This is the next place where another crime happened with multiple stab wounds on the front porch of a house in the 100 block of Roselawn Avenue, very close to Sierra Drive. As you see on that map, that man was rushed to the hospital where he later died. An investigation is underway. Police say the victim has been identified as 43-year-old Al Lee Jones. And then another crime, finally, police responding right here. You see it right off of South Washington Street in Modesto as well. That is where the last crime happened this afternoon. They found a 33-year-old woman hit in the head with a glass object. Police arrested 32-year-old Liana Warner in connection with that crime. New details tonight on a stirring show of unity in the face of terror as leaders walked arm in arm, leading the biggest march in French history. The French president took the time to meet with survivors of 3 days of terror in Paris, beginning with the slaughter at a French magazine and ended with 17 people killed. Millions of people marched around the world today. This is a look at just a few of the demonstrations taking place. Casey Montoya has more on the day of mourning in the City of Lights and remembrance closer to home tonight.
Millions filled the streets of Paris Sunday as part of a unity rally. World leaders locked arms with the president of France, remembering the lives lost. The city and nation still trying to heal after days of violent terror attacks, leaving 17 people dead.
To fight against the terror, it's very easy. We have just to be together.
As a sign of solidarity, rallies were held in cities across the world. Hundreds gathered in downtown Los Angeles at City Hall Sunday afternoon.
What we see around the world more and more is that all of these terrorists, no matter what they name themselves, come from the same poisonous tree.
The rallies brought people together, not only to support the victims, also to show support for freedom and send a message to the world: terrorism will not be tolerated.
We're talking about crazy people who are extremists, and we need to stop that. Yeah, and we don't need to judge the whole Arab people as being terrorists. They're not.
Local religious leaders joined hands on the steps of City Hall in a move they hope will encourage others around the world to do the same.
Today is really the most important moment because it's really symbolic, and we thank all our friends from the whole world to join us, to have joined us in France, to join us today, to really show that we are all in it together.
Well, a French radio station reports police have found the hideout of terror suspect Mehdi Koulibaly. Authorities killed Koulibaly following a siege on that kosher market Friday. Officials are still looking for his alleged co-conspirator, Iyad Boumediene. They say she fled to Turkey and is believed to be headed to Syria. The White House will host a summit next month aimed at preventing terrorist attacks like the one in France. The February summit will focus on U.S. and international efforts to combat attacks by violent extremists and groups such as Al-Qaeda, which support them. A White House statement says the summit will also focus on how to stop violent groups from recruiting individuals and so-called lone wolf attackers. Tonight, the flight recorder of an AirAsia plane that crashed in the Java Sea has been found. The head of the Indonesia Search and Rescue Agency says the recorder was found under the wreckage of one of the plane's wings. The news comes after debris from the plane arrived at a port in Indonesia earlier today, and the tail of the plane was recovered yesterday. 2,600 Kaiser workers will hit the picket lines tomorrow. The statewide strike of Kaiser psychologists, therapists, and social workers are protesting what they call Kaiser's failure to provide its members with timely and quality mental health care. They are also reporting issues with inadequate staffing. That scene turned real very quick. An early morning celebration takes a turn for the worse as gunfire erupts from a San Jose nightclub. 5 people were reported hurt as a result of that gunfire that you heard. Now investigators continue to search for the suspect behind the trigger. Christina Pascucci reports on exactly what happened this morning.
A stream of gunfire echoed through this Bay Area nightclub. Partygoers started screaming, diving for the floor, and jammed exit doors.
There's a lot of people running around, leaving the scene.
Witnesses say Chris Brown had finally taken the stage at around 1:20 a.m. when suddenly shots were fired.
We're still in the process of interviewing the witnesses that we do have, so I really don't know what led up to the confrontation.
This Vine video shows a controversial R&B star wincing and ducking down as his security team swarms him. His performance was part of a private VIP birthday party at San Jose's Fiesta nightclub. He was not injured, but 5 others were hit by bullets.
My understanding is they were shot in the extremities, and again, none of the wounds appear to be life-threatening.
Well, Chris Brown told the San Jose Mercury News, quote, "Just because I was there doesn't mean I was a target." Police are questioning several people, but they say at this point no arrests have been made. New at 10 tonight, a Sacramento woman caught and cuffed in Oregon accused of forging over a dozen prescriptions for narcotic cough syrup. Officials say Serena Lynn Geis intended to sell the medicine here in California. She's accused of traveling from pharmacy to pharmacy, picking up called-in prescriptions of the same syrup. Police say they uncovered 20 bottles that you see right there on your screen in her car and hotel room. The street value estimated to be over $15,000 in cash. Investigators say the incident may be part of a larger scale operation. And tonight we are learning more about a shooting that claimed the lives of 4 people in San Francisco. The 4 men were found shot to death in a car in Hayes Valley on Friday night. Police have identified one of the victims as Emmanuel O'Neill in his early 20s. O'Neill's friends speaking out tonight. One says she questioned his alleged gang involvement.
His mom she was really, I mean, our hearts go out to her and the family because I know they were very, very close and made sure she kept them on track.
A community gathering and march are scheduled for tomorrow night in honor of the victims.
It's in the bushes. It's in the middle of a field.
And it's where a homeless mother gave birth, how Sac City Fire stepped in to help. Plus, a fight between two elderly women in Sacramento lands one in the hospital and the other in the county jail. What led up to the slashing at this senior living center? Plus, the biggest stars in the world all gathering in one place tonight to celebrate the best of movies and television. Still ahead, we break down the winners and losers of this year's Golden Globe Awards.